Different people, you'll attend different talks throughout the rest of your life, and some people get up and it's kind of a self-promotion deal, and some people will get up and speak on something that's absolutely not relevant to what you've got going on at all. For me, you're going to learn that I was one of you, and in some of ways, more so than others. I'm born and raised here in Kentucky, and to do this, I'm not getting paid to do this. This is something that I do because I didn't have options and I didn't have opportunities like you guys are blessed to have. And this is an amazing program for what you guys get to do. The very least that I can do is try to give back and share some of the mistakes, screw-ups that I've had so that you don't have to have those things and you can get to where you're going faster. Fair enough? Awesome. So I am going to tell you a little bit about myself to give you some context. I'm going to give you 5 things that I think from a mentality standpoint matter as an entrepreneur. And then I'm going to open the floor to you guys. So any question you could ever think, that you could ever thought that I'd love to ask an entrepreneur, I'd love to ask a CEO, anything. It can be relevant to my business. It can be relevant to what I'm doing, anything. Now is your time to pick my brain. Okay? You have my attention and you have my brain, if you will, for the next hour or so. Cool? Awesome. So I moved 17 times the first 18 years of my life. There were times in my life as a high school kid that I couldn't go home. I've slept in the movie theater over by the mall there at different times. I slept at friends' houses. Part of that was due to my family dynamic. Part of that was due to I just had to be a kid, right? And you deal with certain things. Through high school, I graduated 155th out of 187. How many people in here realize that school is important, but it is boring as all get out? That's okay. There's a reason why you feel that way, and there's a reason why you're in a program like this. 155th out of 187. I keep my transcript with me. My team will tell you it travels with me, and I keep one on my desk. I do that as a reminder that my past doesn't define me. And sometimes, as an entrepreneurial brain, we don't fit into the box of society. I would argue in a lot of ways, right? You read a lot of stories. You've read the Steve Jobs, the Elon Musk, the Mark Zuckerberg stories, and there's an undertone of being a little bit rebellious, right? Well, that's not just a coincidence. Because being an entrepreneur, you're solving problems. And being an entrepreneur, you're setting out to do something that most people in the world can't wrap their head around, even if it's a small problem. Okay? So from my humble beginnings, I graduated, I think my GPA was a 1.87. I got a 61 in computer technology. The highest math class I've taken is Algebra 1. Introduction to business, I got a 63. But somehow I was able to take the last $1,500 I had to my name and have now grown that into an athletic recruiting service that works with high school athletes in 43 different countries around the world. And listen, I appreciate that, but you're going to notice there's a certain energy about me. I've won because I was just given the opportunity. I'm just getting started. Some of you guys, I hope you stay in touch with me. I know you guys are on the socials. Most of them you can find me at @TheShaneHoward. It's easy. Please stay in touch with me. There are people who've been here in the past that have done that. They hit me for advice. They go off and start something. I promise to you, as long as I have the mental bandwidth and the time, I will do anything I can to help you. All right? So, my humble beginnings, I don't have a college degree. Okay, I don't have a college degree. But it has allowed me to go from what my rock bottom is. Now, I had a horrible home life. Life sucked. The closest people to me most of my life told me I'd never be nothing. And so you can imagine what that does. What I learned is I had a certain level of self-awareness. And I've got to keep it PG for you guys because you guys are high school kids. But I learned to say, screw you, I know me. And I'm aware of who I am. Okay? So my rock bottom was just my beginning. I didn't take a vacation as a kid. Never went to the ocean. Vacation for us, some of you might relate, was going to another state and seeing some family. That was vacation for me. Now I've been to 4 different continents. I've given 400 plus talks in the last 4 years. I've spent weeks and weeks on end in places like New Zealand, Australia. That's the other benefit of following me on the socials. You get to see all kinds of really cool stuff and really cool places. This year, I'll probably be going to Australia, New Zealand, India, China, and probably somewhere in Europe, and that's in the next 6 months. From a guy who came from where you guys are from to that. And let me preface that I'm not anything special. Most of you guys in here have way more ability and way more talent than I do. What I will share with you is, let me ask you this. How many in here have had some sort of challenge in life, whether it's in your home life, your family dynamic, just something that's beyond your control that it's hard to not think about on a regular or semi-regular basis? Let me explain something to you. Don't believe the narrative that you're at the disadvantage. You're not at a disadvantage if you're a female. You're not at a disadvantage if you're a minority. You're not at a disadvantage if you come from a really poor, non-entrepreneurial state for the most part as Kentucky. I would argue that you actually have the advantage because you get to hide in plain sight and you get to play the role of the underdog and nobody sees you coming. So I promise, if you'll figure that mindset out, if you'll figure that mindset out and realize that everything that seems like it's an obstacle, you have no idea when you become an adult the advantage that is going to provide for you. Okay? So CCR, what we are, again, I kind of prefaced that. I started this. I never owned a computer. I had $1,500 to my name, and you can ask your parents how the economy was in 2008, 2009. It was as bad as it's ever been. I thought it was a bright idea to start a business. Turned out okay, but it wasn't easy, right? So what I get to do is wake up every single day and create opportunity, whether it's coming here and talk to you guys and create opportunity, because somebody in here is going to take something that I say and you're going to apply it and you're going to turn it into something unbelievable. And you don't owe me anything other than a like on one of my pictures. That's it. You don't owe me anything, because this is what entrepreneurship is about. True people who really care about entrepreneurship, they will give to you when the ROI does not make sense. You know what the ROI means? Return on investment. I drove up here. My team drove up here. Some of my team drove up here. We checked into the 21C Museum Hotel. Checked in about 12:30, 1 o'clock. We only had one room left, so half of my team got to go ahead and get settled in, get in bed early. I sat in the lobby for an hour. I got checked in, took a nap, woke up, took them to eat a nice dinner. I worked through the night, fell asleep probably sometime around 7, got back up at 11, and here I am. I could have been doing a whole lot more. By the way, my laptop is with Apple right now, and they're having some keyboard issues, so I'm literally working from my phone. I have a computer on my desk at work. I couldn't get anything done like I need to, right? So the things that I could be doing, I've got 2 or 3 other companies that I'm looking to launch. This isn't, on paper, a good return on my investment. but it is for me because it's about doing the right thing, right? And it's about giving back. To me, that is worth far more than any amount of money I could ever make, all right? So 5 skills, and I'm going to open this up for you guys for question and answer. How many of you right now have some sort of question in mind you think you can answer? Raise your hand. Oh, it's not going to be good enough. Be thinking of something, okay? So the first 2, patience and persistence. Patience and persistence. How many people in here want to make $1 million? Why do you want to make $1 million? Life's easier? Pull some of these adults aside and ask if they think when you get $1 million. I would argue that it actually becomes harder. So I recently doubled my staff. I've got a full-time video guy that follows me around and videos and documents what I've got going on every day. Becca handles my community, or our customer service, and some of our community stuff and some different charitable things that we've got coming up towards the end of the year. I've got a marketing guy. I've got a director of business development that's moved over here from Australia. I've got a new marketing employee that does content writing. I'm pulled in 1,000 different ways, and we're bigger and better than we've ever been, and my life's probably harder, right? So we want to make $1 million because we see it as this vanity metric that's a sign of success. Does anybody in here have any idea what the annual salary in the United States is, what the threshold is to be in the top 1%? The 1% earners in the United States. Does anybody know? It's more than 250,000. $500,000. It's $330,000 a year. If you make $330,000 a year or more, you are in the top 1% earners in the entire country. You are wealthy. Okay? Don't get caught up on this vanity metric. Vanity metrics will cause you some issues along this journey, right? So be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. I can't tell you the endless hours and nights that I've spent awake 2, 3, 4 days in a row. 19-hour days. Go home, take a nap, come back in. Your team needs you. You got to do that. This is not glamorous, okay? You have to be patient. If you think you've got an idea and you're going to graduate high school and you're going to roll it out and you're going to be a millionaire by 22, you're fooling yourself. The world has a funny way of bringing you to your knees. And not only does the world, but so does entrepreneurship. Now, what makes an entrepreneur good to great is being able to get kicked in the teeth and get up and smile and laugh about it and proceed as if nothing happened. Okay? So you got to be patient in this journey. You have to. You have to be. I would argue that patience is something that will be the hardest thing for your generation to learn. You guys literally live in a world of instant gratification. You guys can instantly find a date with all these dating apps on your phone. You can instantly find a TV show. You can instantly find the answers to this quadratic equation that you're trying to figure out in algebra. Instantly. But success doesn't come in an instant. Okay? You got to have persistence. How many people in here, honestly, how many people in here enjoy being told no? All of you should. Every single one of you. You should be in the no business. If all you're hearing is yeses, you have people who don't know what they're doing around you, or you have people around you that don't really care to give you the truth. Be in the no business. Be persistent. If your skill is sales, every no gets you to a yes. Every no gets you to a yes. Find the no. It's easy for me to find a yes. It's easy. It's easy. How many people in here got a good night's sleep last night? How many people in here have a red polo? See, it's easy for me to get to a yes. How many people in here have ever raised $200 million in funding? That's a no. It's hard for me to find that person. Find the no. Who are you? Who are you? The cool part about it is you're still figuring that out. I would argue that there's probably one or two people in here who actually know, outside of the adults, who actually know who they are. You guys have some really, really cool people involved with this program. I won't call her by name, but you guys have a teacher in here who loves art, who I connected with the last time I was here. I follow her on Instagram. I firmly, beyond any shadow of a doubt, believe you should get to know her and you should find out how she got to where she's at from a self-awareness standpoint, because she 100% knows herself. She knows what she loves. She knows why she loves doing it. I'm telling you right now, that's hard to find. That's hard to find. I'll let her speak up in a private setting with you guys so I don't put her on the spot, because she didn't know I was going to say that. So find people who are self-aware so that you can figure it out as well. Self-awareness will take you. So when you get the no's, the self-awareness helps so that you know if you're just being told no just to be told no. Are they just telling me no because I'm a minority? Are they just telling me no because I'm a female? Are they just telling me no because I'm from Eastern Kentucky? If you know what you're doing, you're unstoppable. Doesn't mean you're going to win. Just means you got a heck of a chance of winning. Okay? Self-awareness. There is no book you can read to find it. It takes self-reflection. Some people are born with it. The teacher that's here that I spoke of, I would believe she's born with it. I don't know her from 12 months ago. That's all I know. But I would believe that she was born with it. Find people who have that. Because at your age, you can be influenced by that and by observing. Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do. Got it? The work is the work is the work. The work is the work is the work. If you're not willing to put in the work, if you think that being an entrepreneur means a bunch of money and a bunch of free time and traveling around the world and your Instagram game is strong and you've got all these nice pictures of all these pretty sites, if you think that doesn't come with an unbelievable amount of work, you're lost. I live by two mantras. The work is the work is the work, and doing the right thing is always the right thing. I will always do the right thing. It may cost me my job. I pour into my employees probably more than any CEO or any business owner they've ever had, because they deserve that. Because at the end of the day, I told you I'm trying to create opportunities, right? I work with athletes. I'm trying to create opportunities for them, right? I'm trying to create opportunities for you. I'm trying to create opportunities for people who want to come be a part of what I'm doing and help me play out my vision and my game plan. Be willing to put in the work. The work is what will separate you. And if you think that the work doesn't matter, I don't care how smart you are. Doesn't matter. I don't care how quick you can write code. Doesn't matter. You got to be willing to put in 18, 19, 20-hour days. If you want what other people don't have, you've got to be willing to do what other people won't do. Period. There's a lot of other young adults your age at the pool, at the beach, at Kentucky Kingdom, doing a lot of different things. You're here. It says a lot about you. Okay? The last skill I'll tell you you need to earn is learn to sell. And if you can learn to sell, you will separate yourself from most other human beings that walk the planet. If you can learn to sell, you will separate yourself from most other human beings that walk the planet. Here's what I mean by that. How many people in here think salespeople are a little bit creepy and weird and kind of gross? Right, it's okay. How many people in here would be embarrassed if that's what they ended up being as a salesperson? It's good. Good. I hope you're not just reacting to my slide. Because I would argue that all of you sell. You sell every single day. You sell your parents on why you need to stay out 2 hours later on your curfew. When you start dating, for real dating, not what you're doing in high school, it's a sales job. I'm trying to sell this young lady on why she's way out of my league, why she needs to be with some has-been like me. That's your self-awareness, right? Selling is when you go somewhere and you're negotiating a car, you're actually selling. When you try to buy a house, you're selling. It is a skill that if you can learn to hone and learn and realize that you actually do it every single day, the game changes. No longer can you just go out and raise a bunch of money because you have a fantastic idea. Go out and find customers who are actually willing to believe in you, believe in your mission, or believe in your product, and who are willing to start giving you money. I would argue that even if you only have an idea, you can start taking what's called purchase orders and start collecting down payments to help you fund your deal. That's all Kickstarter is. It's a bunch of people who believe in you, who are willing to give you some money up front in hopes that you execute on it. Make sense? Awesome. Sweet. Q&A. Let's dig into it. Yes?
So what is your company specifically?
Custom College Recruiting. So again, we help high school age athletes that want to come over here and participate in university outside of their country. So there's a lot of foreign athletes that want to come and do that.
And so do you like take a percentage of like tuition cost or what is it?
Nope. So what we do is there's an upfront fee that they pay us, and then we go to work. There's no guarantees, there's no promises, and it goes back to the selling, and that's why selling sometimes is hard, because you have to tell, doing it the right way is telling people that you're not going to do something. I'm not going to promise you something. A little side note for when you guys do get in the dating world, undersell who you are and be that way, and you'll be amazed at what comes out of that. Just a side note. You didn't know you were going to get relationship advice either, did you? Yes?
And so you said you worked with computers originally, right?
Worked with computers? No, I was in sales.
All right, okay.
I never owned a computer in my life.
All right. So,
Bless you.
And you thought of this business like as soon as you like got out of this?
No, so I was 28, 29. I got out of the car business because I was working twice as many hours, or the same hours, making half the money. The economy went in the toilet, and decided I wanted to do something different. And became a high school coach, got offered a college basketball assistant job, took that for a couple of months, realized that wasn't what I wanted to do, realized that I had an impact and a unique ability to connect and bond with people, and wanted to flip and turn that into something that, I was crazy enough to think that I could actually impact the world and move the needle in a very, very established market. And we're now the only athletic recruiting service in the world that has partnerships with multinational governments. So I did that all from my couch, and then I just have a unique ability to connect and communicate with people. Yes? Yes?
So how do you know when to cut a business or cut an idea loose and not go for it? Because I've seen, like, personally in my life, businesses kind of keep limping on and they're sort of working, but how do you know when to switch to something new and cut your losses?
I mean, the obvious answer is if you're bleeding out and you're just losing money, losing money, losing money. I think at some point you have to say, I'll cut my losses or pivot, right? You guys will probably learn about pivoting. I'm sure at some point you guys learn about this in your time here. Pivoting means you have an idea. YouTube, for example, does anybody know what YouTube used to be? A dating site, right? It's not anymore. I would argue it's the biggest content TV provider in the world now. So do that. And then the secret weapon of most entrepreneurs is your gut. Trust your gut. That's why I say the self-awareness. You can't listen to anybody else. If you believe you still are making traction and you're still pulling forward, forget what everybody else thinks. Forget it. Yes?
You mentioned your family issues. Do you still have a relationship with them, or is it like greater, or is it?
You put me on the spot here. No, it's cool. It's cool. I'm a very, very transparent person. I'll answer this in a way because obviously I don't want to embarrass anybody or put anybody, that might see this on the spot or family members and those kind of things. I have a renewed relationship with some family members in my past that I had a horrible relationship with, and I don't have a relationship with people and family members who were in my past. So, I'm not successful yet. I'm on my way though. I guess maybe what you're asking, is it easier to repair that now that I'm successful? I would argue that it's harder, because it's the age-old adage: if you can't love me at my worst, you don't deserve to get to spend time with me at my best. So that's why my work, family is very, very close to me and my family. I love what I do. So, I'm the first one at the office when they get there, and I'm the last one to leave most of the times. Not in a bragging, beat my chest, ego form. I love it. I love seeing them come in and do something that they love to do. I love to be there and try and create an opportunity and provide for them. So, yes?
Could you talk a little bit more about, if I remember right, I think that in the beginning you all weren't focusing as much on international markets. You were trying to focus here. Can you talk about that process and what led you to discover this new market and why you went there?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we didn't, right? So I set out, by the way, you're going to write a business plan. I know part of your stuff here is probably that's a step in entrepreneurship. I would argue that that's a waste of your time. You have to do it in some form or fashion. You have really, and I think a lot of that is to hold yourself accountable. I think you guys have the unique ability to actually do that in an audio and or video form. So you can talk to yourself so that when you're screwing up and when you're getting off track, you can look yourself in the eye and hold yourself accountable. So, I've got this business plan that I conjured up that I thought this was going to be, this thing and work with American kids. And I'd never been out of the country, so I couldn't wrap my head around this thing of international and what that even looked like. And Facebook has been, period, point blank, the reason that I've been able to take my talents and abilities and compound and leverage us to the world. And we were plugging away with American kids and American families. Somehow, some way, I put a piece of content or a post out where somebody who followed somebody shared it. Some kids over in Europe saw it, started contacting me. And then we've kind of leveraged that and communicate back and forth. And this is long before I could run Facebook ads. Lord have mercy. This is probably long before any of you guys were even in middle school or still in kindergarten. Believe it or not, the internet still existed back then. You had to find a way, and you've got to be creative, and you've got to be able to connect with people in a unique way. And, I think what Mac's alluding to is, you have to be able to see what's happening, and you can't be blind, and you can't be romantic to what you want to do. Imagine if those guys were just romantic and only wanted a dating site. That's all they wanted. You wouldn't have YouTube right now. Okay? You wouldn't have YouTube right now. So, for me, I had to make an adjustment, and I had to trust my gut. I got an opportunity to go to Australia. It took me 10 days to see all I needed to see from traveling around and seeing where people were taking advantage and being misled and steered in the wrong direction. And I had about probably $2,500 in the bank at the time. A ticket cost $1,200 to go to Australia at the time. And I took a gamble, and that's a lot of what entrepreneurship is. And I've made a lot of mistakes. It just happens to be that wasn't one of them, and it worked. Yes?
So how many high school athletes do you provide this service?
We worked with a few thousand over the last 9 years. Yes?
So when you're first starting up, like, your business, how do you get those special, like, intricate connections that you can get to, like, broaden your, like, variety of people that you know and, like, get started?
Just ask. You find people. So how many of you really dig marketing? So you familiar with cans? It's going on right now. It's a big marketing, I don't know, it's not a convention. It's like a big get-together where all these really awesome special people go and connect in from. One of our business board of advisors is actually a host for a TV show and some different things for there. So how did he and I connect? He's the creative director for, oh man, this is going to be on video and I've totally went blank. He's going to kill me. It'll come back to me. The largest digital media marketing company in the world, or in the United States for sure. It's out in LA. He's their creative director. His name is Chris Denson. He's got a podcast, Innovation Crush. He's doing a bunch of big things. But again, it's asking. You find somebody. If you see somebody that thinks look, you know, you guys have a hip song that you jammed to not too long ago. It goes down in the DM. That's the same thing. It's the same thing for the business world, right? It's the same thing. Use it. Look, I'm hip, right? I'm only 38. 38 is not nearly as old as you think it is. So what do I mean by that? If you guys see a guy or a girl that you think's attractive, you got no problem sending them a message. If you find somebody on social media you think that can provide you value or help you in your journey, send them a message. Say, hey, I follow what you do. I love what you do. How can I learn more? Don't be concerned. Listen, the number one advice that I can give to you when you're doing that is find a way to provide them value. Don't just hit people asking them for stuff. Hey, look, I notice you're in Louisville. I live in Louisville. I'd love to pick your brain. I'd love to get to know what you're doing. I'll do anything. I'll sweep the office. I'll make copies. I'll tear staples out of paper. I'll do whatever you want me to do. I just want to observe and learn. Find a way to provide somebody some value. If your skill is creative, create something for them, right? Create something for them, right? I would venture to say that some of the greatest, most popular pieces of art, probably the preface to that and that artist becoming that popular probably came out of something that they actually didn't get paid to do, but the right people saw it, the right momentum happened, and they became who they were. So, yes?
What's the biggest and hardest compromise that you've had to make?
The biggest and hardest compromise that I have had to make. It sounds really cliche, but none. Because when I wake up every day, I know what I'm trying to achieve. So I only have time for things in my life that matter. So my family could come to me and say, we're done. We don't want to take this journey with you anymore. I'm out. I can't do it anymore. You either do something else or we're gone. I love you guys, but this is what I got to do. So it's not a compromise. It's a self-awareness. I know what my mission, I know what my goal is in life, and I know what I'm trying to achieve. And if I can help you in some way, that's what I want to do. Because by helping you and by helping you guys and by helping everybody that I'm able to impact and in the future will impact, that in turn helps anybody who's around me or who's with me. So don't make a compromise. And also don't live with regret. If you see a job that you want, take it. Don't worry about what everybody else thinks. If you see that guy or girl, walk up to him and say hi. If you get a notion and you want to move to the other side of the country or the other side of the planet, just do it. Just do it. The last thing you want to do is be 80, 90 years old sitting around saying, I wish this, I wish that, I wish I would have, I wish I could have. Don't do that. Yes. You're good.
So you said like you charge like a fee for
Yep.
people that want to use your service. Have you ever done like charity where you like help somebody without fee?
I do it a lot more than people think. I help families in a lot of ways. There's certain NCAA rules that I have to abide by, but I 100% have helped families. I've found creative ways to do it, yes, to help families. Again, giving back and providing value it's not always about the money. The easiest way, whether it's me or it's another entrepreneur, if you guys all think that you want to learn something from me, find a way to provide me some value. I got video to edit, I got audio to edit, I got all these different things. It's going to take work, but I'm happy to sit right next to you and have fun and laugh and joke and take you out to dinner and feed you good and give you some insight. Okay? Yes?
On the first slide, you said like patience and persistence, and you said be patient and persistent unless your idea sucks. So how do you know when your idea sucks and when you balance like risk and reward?
You play sports?
Yes, sir.
What do you play?
Swimming.
Have you played any other sports in your life?
Yes.
What else did you play?
Basketball.
Did you quit because somebody else told you to quit, or you quit because like, look, this ain't my thing. Like I'd rather go out here and just swim in the pool all day and then run up and down this court all day.
Yeah.
You'll know. It's not anybody, it's different people that try to tell you, they'll write books and sell you a course and all these different things. You're going to know. You're just going to know. You got to trust your gut. Just trust your gut. How old were you when you stopped playing?
8th grade.
8th grade. I quit playing basketball when I was in 8th grade. My coach told me I'd never be, he didn't want to put me in because he didn't want me to embarrass myself. So, serious. So in the middle of 8th grade, I turned all my stuff in. We had a program called Book It where you could go and read books in Pizza Hut. Yeah. And you get a free pan pizza. Well, I've always been a tall, big guy, so a little pan pizza ain't going to do much for me. But they had this purple basketball you could also get too. They had these shooting stars and LeVar Burton. If you don't know who LeVar Burton is, you need to Google him. And I went to the park every day, played, got better. 9 months later, as a freshman, I started varsity on a really good high school basketball team. As a freshman, and had 8 points and 8 rebounds. I had a bunch, he told me I couldn't do it. I like being told no. There's a really, really awesome guy from the state of Kentucky. You guys might have heard of him. His name's Muhammad Ali. He's somebody that I've always silently looked up to. He has a quote, "I'm going to show you how great I am." Don't tell me anything. Show me. Because I can show you way better than I can tell you. And I'm a pretty daggone good speaker. But I can absolutely show you way better than I can tell you. Yes, ma'am.
How do you feel that coming from an impoverished background helped ingrain the entrepreneurial mindset in you?
Have you heard the term bootstrap? You guys learned about that yet? You probably will. Bootstrap means doing a whole lot of something with a whole lot of nothing. You don't need money to start a business. There's actually artificial intelligence websites now that you can type in the name of your company and give it some insight, and it will spit out logos for your logo. You can screenshot it, use it, have somebody else remake it. You don't have to pay them anything for it. Right? You can do a whole lot with nothing. You learn that as a kid, right? When you have a behavior, when you walk in the house and you flip the light switch to see if electricity's on when you get home from school, going out to eat when you're trying to build a company becomes a lot less of a sacrifice, right? When You know that you can get by on eating a bowl of cereal for 3 days straight. I can sacrifice my time and my money to make sure that I run this marketing campaign because it might work, right? So, as I mentioned in the beginning, what you perceive, what the world will tell you is a disadvantage is your advantage. And I could talk for 2 hours on that. Please hit me up if you don't understand. Please hit me up if you need some push, because I don't care what the color of your skin is. I don't care what your race, religion, your sexuality. I don't care what book you pray to. I don't care what planet you're from. It doesn't matter. The only person in the world who has to believe that you're going to succeed is you. That's it. The only person. Not any of these adults that are in here, not your parents, because let me explain something to you. The closest people to you for the rest of your life will not believe in you. Not because they don't believe in you, because they don't believe that it's possible themselves. Fear of other people's judgment will hold you back. If there's somebody in your life that's judging you by one of those things I've told you, you don't have to confront them. That's cool. Be the bigger person. But internally, tell them where they can go. And tell them they don't matter. Find people like me, because there's a lot of us. Let me tell you something. The world is a lot better place than the loud voices sometimes might share with you that is the case. There's a lot of me's around here. And hopefully when you guys are at the young age of 38 years old, there will be a lot more. Yes?
So when you like going through hard times and stuff, and like you're not, you're really just worn down and like don't really keep working, what drives you?
My legacy. So I'm not here, you guys haven't heard me talk about money. If I told you what I actually make, you wouldn't believe it. I'm not the highest paid employee in my own business. Me, I'm playing for legacy. I'm trying to figure out a way in this short period of time that I can with you guys, find a way for all of you to connect with me so that you'll all show up to my funeral. I want the narrative at my funeral to be not only were there people out the door, but there were also so many people from so many different countries, I've never seen anything like it. I want to prove people wrong and do the unthinkable even in my last act. So find your why. Find why you're, what's your skill set? Tell me what's your secret power?
I do
Information technology. Why do you want to do that? It interests you. Do you love it? Do you wake up and that's the first thing you think about? When you go to bed, is the first thing you think about? That's all that matters. That's it. Do that, whatever that is. Finish high school. You have to do that, right? Finish high school. And then I'm probably going to get some backlash, I'm sure, from some of your parents if they see this. Please don't go to college if that's what your parents want you to do and you don't really want to. You have all the time in the world to go back to school. You have all the time in the world. If you have something that you're absolutely on fire with, chase that. And that's, again, with anything in life, whether that's a place you want to live, somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with, a job you want to do, an idea you have, chase that. How many people in here have something in their life, not a boyfriend or girlfriend, but something in your life that you wake up and you go to bed and it is all you think about? You are blessed. You are blessed beyond measure. Whatever that is, pour every single ounce of all of your attention, all of your energy, and all of your passion into that. Whatever it is. I don't care what it is. You could tell me it's knitting quilts for dogs at the Humane Society. If that's your passion, do it. If that's your passion, do it. Yes? My biggest goal in life? My legacy. I want you to show up at my funeral. What's your name? Quentin? Quinn? You're a minor, so don't use your last name, but anybody in here who knows Quinn or anybody who sees this video 65 years from now, I need somebody to check the registry and find out if Quinn shows up at my funeral. That's my goal. I'm serious. That's it. I'm just bold and brave enough to put it on camera because it's going to live. It'll live forever. My grandkids will see it. Their grandkids will see it. It just is what it is. Yes?
Do you ever seriously think about giving up?
Giving up? If you're waiting on me to give up, you don't hold your breath. Yes, ma'am.
What is your advice for the kids who didn't raise their hands when you asked if they had something that they were so passionate about that it's all they thought about and loved? Like, if you don't know what your passion is, what do you advise those kids to do?
Taste any and everything in the world. Taste any and everything in the world. Try it all. Kiss all the frogs. Do it. Just do it. You'll find it. It just hasn't, and time and opportunity hadn't lined up for you to have it. Right? Time and opportunity hasn't lined up for you to have it. Listen, I was 29 years old. 29. You guys think 29 is old. If I could literally put you inside of me and allow you to see the world how I see it at 38 years old and realize that 38 is so listen, most people are going to live till they're 90, right? Or more. I'm not even halfway. So when I tell you I've not even got started yet, I've not got started. Yes?
Okay, so going back to when you're talking about those loud voices saying, like, you can't do this or whatever, you told us how to deal with them if it was other people. What if that voice is inside your head? What if everyone else believes in you except for yourself? What do you do then?
I would tell you that that's perfectly okay. And I think there's a difference in not believing in yourself when everybody else does, and there's a difference in believing that you're actually as great as you think you are. Does that make sense? Meaning, if you're dealing with that, some people might see something in you. Find 2 or 3 people in your life that you know that will tell you the truth no matter how bad it's going to hurt you. And if they're willing to tell you that you're an unbelievable, I don't even know you. Where are you from?
Kenton County.
Kenton County. Don't know that I've ever been there. What's the town that's there?
It's right under Cincinnati.
Right under Cincinnati. I've definitely been there. I will tell you the fact that you're willing to come here and you're willing to sit here, and whether this was about you or a friend or whatever, whoever that is, if you're willing to put yourself out there, if you're willing to speak up and ask questions, there's a lot of people in here who hadn't raised their hand to ask a question. If you're willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do, the fact that you're here, you're special. The fact that you're here, you have something that's different than everybody else. Whether everybody in your life tells you that and you don't believe it, or nobody else tells you that in your life and you don't believe it. You absolutely can achieve whatever you want to achieve. And you have to take a deep breath and realize that the fact, there's a guy named Gary Vaynerchuk, and he talks about 4 trillion to 1 of the odds of being a human. You've already won. You've already won. That should wake you up every single day to realize I don't know what I want to be, and I don't believe what everybody else is telling me, but I'm just going to give it everything I got, and I'm going to figure it out. Because every person goes through something different, right? I went through self-doubt. I had a lot of people tell me I was special. That's what I was going through high school. I just didn't believe them. I slept in class, didn't go to school, kind of came and gone as I went. I eventually figured it out. You'll eventually have a moment. The one thing none of you are allowed to do is give up on yourself. Got it? What are you not allowed to do? You can give up on anything you want to. You can't give up on yourself, no matter what that is. Yes?
All right, so like with you talking about your legacy and everything, where do you see yourself in like the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years, where do I see myself? I'll have 2 to 3 companies. I'll be exponentially doing what I'm doing both in a athletic recruiting realm, but potentially something parallel or similar. I'll be impacting more lives. I'll be public speaking around the world on a much bigger platform. Some of you in here will watch my daily videos on your lunch break. That's where I see myself.
Did you have any fears when you got into this entrepreneur process to build your idea?
No. Now, this is the first time I've really publicly put something like this out there, so I'm going to share it with you. So when I was a young kid, I was diagnosed with ADHD. It's not a diagnosis, and it's not an ailment or an illness. If you can figure it out and you can navigate, you actually realize it's actually a superpower. I don't have any fear. It's a good thing and a bad thing sometimes when you're a rebellious teenager. But I've never experienced that because the worst that can happen to me has already happened. I've got food at home. I've got a water that these kind people gave to me for free. I've got a car that's got gas in it. I've got people that believe in me and want to go to work every day and help me fight my mission and my journey. So the worst that can happen has already happened to me in life.
How would you advise them on when they're trying to convince older generations of what they have to offer? Where there's that frustration moment of, I know I can do this, look what I can do, but there's a gap there in this communication.
Give it an honest effort. Listen, give it an honest effort, and then just prove them wrong. Listen, my generation is the video game generation. You guys think you can lay claim to it right now, you can't. I'm it. If you don't know the struggle of playing track and field on the regular Nintendo where you had this giant pad and you're down and you're tapping on the buttons to make the guy run faster and it's this giant pad you're supposed to be running on, your struggle is not real. All right? So my generation, your generation has been told that get off the video games, stop playing video games, you can't do this, right? I'm about to launch a whole esports division of what I'm doing. How many of you here are big-time gamers? Find me and communicate with me because I need to pick your brain and I need to invite you into my ecosystem and let you be a part of what I'm doing. I'm serious. If you actually truly care about it, hit me up. What do you play? Counter-Strike. PUBG, Fortnite. A couple of you, Counter-Strike. All right, cool. Hit me up. I'm not a big-time gamer, but I've seen it coming for about 3 years. So I actually own all the domains, esports recruiting, esportsscholarship.com. I bought them about 3 years ago. I've seen it coming, so I'm going to launch some different things, and it's some cool stuff. So if you're literally big into gaming, if you Twitch, I'm serious. As a side note, please hit me up. Yes?
How did you assemble the courage to start your company at such a bad time in American economy?
Because a bad time is subjective. A bad time is what everybody else says. A bad time is someone else's opinion. Make sense? So a bad time is what the world says is a bad time. People still succeeded. Businesses still grew. People still make money. You just whether or not you believe their narrative or your narrative. I'll be honest. I didn't have any money, so I didn't know what. I mean, I knew the economy was bad and gas was $3.60 a gallon. But, yeah. Okay, so I just don't, like, guys, listen, what other choice do you have? What other choice do you have? If our economy goes in the toilet 3 years from now and you graduate high school and you've got a dream that you want to pursue, who gives two flying flips what's going on in the world? What choice do you have? None. Just go do it. Who cares? Who cares? Your mom and dad are probably going to look at you and tell you you're an idiot. Don't do that. Go to college. Well, you go to college. I've got stuff I've got to do. You got all the time in the world to go back to school. My dad's an athletic director of a local high school down in Logan County. He didn't go back to college. He was in his 30s. You got all the time in the world. It's the patience. Macro patience, micro speed. Work every single day till your eyes bleed, but know that you're doing it for a long-term goal. Yes? What do you do to establish brand? Be genuine and get in front of as many people as possible. I didn't spend $1 of marketing for my first 5 years. When I was doing stuff internationally, 5 years ago, I was in Australia and New Zealand and England and Serbia and Lithuania and Latvia and Macedonia and some of these places you guys have never heard of. And I was just doing it from my couch. Me. Just me. Do you like me? That's it. That's it. It's just it. Yes.
Okay, so like clearly you have a logo and stuff, and you had to design all that and everything. But like, okay, did you already know how to do design? You said you.
Nothing. You look, you're going to make all. I paid some guys in India $300 to build me a website. That got me to my first $1 million.
So you didn't learn.
I don't know anything. I still don't know. Listen, my marketing guy completely refreshed my website. He hit me, hey, can you look it over before I show it to everybody else? No, I'm not going to look it over. What am I going to tell you? I'm not buying it. Any of you in here a musician? Why do you listen to your friends or whether or not they tell you your music's good or not? Do you think they're going to buy a CD from you? They're going to ask for free. They're going to ask you to get into the concert for free. Who cares what they think? Find somebody who actually wants to give it to you. Make sense? Find me on the socials. I'll take some pictures of our different logos and I'll show you where they are. This logo was designed by one of our board of advisors, a guy named Eric Pete. He does a lot of stuff, graphic design and branding stuff for Nike, for Michael Jordan's clothing line, for different things. So that's where this came out of. If you see the one before, it looks like it was a cartoon. Like it doesn't matter because it goes back to what he was asking about your brand. Who you are is what makes whatever you do special. There's only one you. What's your first name? There's only one you. Your logo doesn't do it for you. Do you go to Kroger to grocery shop because their logo's pretty? You go because of the reputation that you have by going and your experiences in there, right? Same thing. The cool part about it is who wins in the next 20 years are the companies where a CEO has a personal brand and a reputation. That's who wins. You guys get to do that. Yes?
When did you start doing like speaking for like groups?
When did I start speaking? When I started a business and I didn't have any money and I went to Australia, and the only way for me to get in front of a bunch of people because my time was constrained and I couldn't spend months and months on time, so I had to get a bunch of people in a room, and I just had to get up, and I just had to talk. God blessed me with the gift of gab. For some reason, when I speak, people listen. It's one of my superpowers, so I get to use it for good and do what I do. I do appreciate the compliment as well.
So when you first established your business, were there any major hiccups that you had to overcome?
Yes. Everybody in my industry told me, Shane, you've only been a college coach for 6 months. You've never done this. You know nothing about it. You've never ran a business. Oh, by the way, I tested out my business model and my plan, and I emailed it to a bunch of different people for them to email me feedback, and I kept every single one of those emails where they all told me. I still have them. What they all told me, why I was dumb, I was an idiot, I'm stupid, I'm going to regret it, I don't know what I'm talking about. Doesn't seem that way now.
Would you say that you almost feed off of that energy, like that negativity?
Yes. That's what looking out for the no is. For me, I like being the underdog. The hard part about becoming successful is this. You guys think I'm successful, so I don't get to fool you, right? This is how I dress every day. I'm not wearing a shirt and tie. If me wearing a shirt and tie or me dressing a certain way is how you're going to make a judgment of whether or not I know what I'm doing or I'm being successful, I would argue to take a seat over there somewhere else and just enjoy the show, because it's going to be a fun ride. I just don't. Other people's opinions just don't matter to me. I care about what everybody thinks, meaning I want to make sure that you all show up at my funeral. But at the same time, none of your opinions matter to me. There is nothing you can say about me that's going to hurt my feelings. I've heard it all. I heard it from the closest people to me my whole life. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can say. Yes, sir.
So it sounds like a lot of you are getting into your success with, like, by yourself. But a lot that we hear and learn, like, especially here, is like, teamwork and like working.
Yes. If you're getting the narrative, I'm just telling you me and how I've got to who I am as a human being. I 100%, my company's success and what actually has nothing to do with me. It has to do with the hard work and the effort that my team has put in over the years. I work for them, they don't work for me. So it's my job to put them in a position for success. If I bring somebody into my company and they don't work and they fail, that's on me, that's not on them. So the narrative of who I am, it's going to take you and you alone to figure out who you are. But for you to be successful, it's going to take so many people that you don't even know right now to believe in you, to give you an opportunity, to connect you with the right person, to just shoot you a message and tell you thank you, because nobody's ever told you thank you. And then one day you get that DM, and somebody says, hey, you inspire me, and I appreciate that. And you never know where that's going to come from, and those people are on your team. That's why I say get people close to you who are willing to tell you what you don't want to hear, and never, ever let those people go. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. So it's not me. I promise it's not me. They put in the hard work, not me. I would argue sometimes I make their life harder, not easier. Yes?
So a lot of what you talked about has been like incredibly positive, right? Has your positivity ever like come back and like gotten?
Meaning, have I ever been in a place where life has sucked and I've been negative?
Yeah.
100%.
All right.
100%. Listen, guys, I'm not superhuman. Life sucks sometimes. And you know what? Cry it out. Do what you got to do in that moment. Then take a deep breath and say, you know what? It could be a lot worse. And then just wake up and do something to change it. There's two different people in the world. There's people who gripe and complain and who don't do anything. And there's people who gripe and complain and work their butt off to change it. Everybody gripes and complains. What are you doing to fix it? Don't bring me a problem, bring me a solution. Sometimes you got to say that to yourself. Let's stop internalizing the problem. Dang it, let's find the solution to this. What can I do to change this right now? Because as long as you're still alive, you can do something to change it. You have that opportunity. Yes?
What tip would you give us, like, for, like, next step after this?
Just do. Just do. Whatever it is you want to do, just do it.
And what, like, about, like, getting out there, like, how would you go about doing that? Because, like...
Just ask. If at the end of this, if you guys have been impacted from what I do and what I want to do, at the end, you're welcome to come up here, take a selfie, tag me on Instagram, whatever you want to do. Just do it. And I'll share with you what, my people around the world and different things will see that. You'll make it on the vlog. You'll make it on all these different things. Just ask. If you don't know, ask. If you think you know, just do it. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Doing and failing is way more successful than not doing and sitting back and saying, oh, well, maybe I would have, and then doing and then failing. Because now I've had all this time go by where you could have iterated on what you failed on or won, and now you're way ahead. Just do. Action over reaction. Offense over defense. All day long. All day long. You guys are awesome.
All right, so obviously you're a leader. You're a leader of your company.
I appreciate that.
What is your biggest fear being a leader for your company?
Letting the closest people to me that believe in me down. Not being able to help them achieve their goals. That's it. That's it. That's it. It makes me a little emotional to think about that because I want them to have what they want to have. Zig Ziglar said, if you can help everybody else get what they want, you'll have whatever you want. To some version of that.
All right. I was going to say, yeah, maybe 1-2 more questions, and then we'll get wrapped up. Buses just got here and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. You guys have something fun to go to, I think, coming up. Yes?
So I know you started as one person. How big is your company grown since then?
So it's one person. Right now we have 11 or 12. The goal is in the next 12 months to get it to 25 or 30. With other different things that I'm rolling out, 10 years from now, I should be at 400 or 500 people. 2 more questions. Yes? Highest profile athlete. Due to NCAA rules, I can't put that out there, but we've had some players that have gone on to play professionally and different things. So we can have a private conversation if you ever want to hit me. I'm happy to have that. 1 more question. Let's make it a good one. And then again, you guys are welcome to come up, chat, whatever you need. And I know you guys got to get on the road. 1 more question. Any of the adults have a question?
We're also this year going to ask if you're okay with it. We're going to do a group picture with each of the speakers that we have just up on stage. If you're comfortable with that.
You guys think I'm comfortable with that? Sweet. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, good.
Awesome, man.
Come on. I'm not a professional selfie taker, but if you guys want to take pictures of selfies, you're welcome. Yeah, we might need to squeeze in and maybe have some people sit down in front here so everybody gets in. I'm being a parent here, telling everybody what to do. Kind of bring in the sides, guys. Yeah, let's get a little tighter. Let's act like you like each other here.
Which camera?
Let them take a couple pictures, guys, and I want you guys to take one for me. And I want everybody to hold up the number 1 because you get one life to do whatever it is you want to do. Give everything you've got to do that. So let them take a few pictures, and then let's give them a number 1.
Saying we're like aligned with him is like the come from nothing.
Cool.
Because a lot of
We're
what
very similar. Yeah.
a lot of what he talks about is like the people that have things when they grow up.
Absolutely.
Like, they don't know what it is to do nothing.
You have no idea.
And
Yeah, you don't know.
essential to it.
It's just the narrative because
Thank you, man.
it's just the truth.
Yeah, thank you.
It's just the truth. Awesome.
Thank you.
All good. Thank you.
Can I take a selfie with you?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Thank you.
All good. All
Do you have
good.
any books on business that I could read just to learn?
The hard thing about hard things.
Okay.
Check it out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you. Sweet. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
All
for
good.
coming.
Hey.
Thanks for answering all my questions.
Hey, no, anytime. And feel free to ask any more directly with me.
Okay, great.
All good.
So I know you said you're interested in the esports.
Absolutely.
organization. What kind of like thing were you getting or curious
I don't know that you've got enough time for me to lay it out to you, so just find me on Instagram
I
or.
followed you on Twitter.
Yep. So just shoot me a message.
Hi. I didn't really ask a lot of questions.
That's
or
okay.
anything, but I wanted to tell you that like a lot of the stuff that you said.
I appreciate
really
that.
kind of, like made me think about a lot of stuff that
Cool.
I want to end up doing. So.
Just go do whatever you want to do and be an absolute rock star at it.
All right. Thank you.
Sweet.
Hi, I'm Angelina.
Nice to meet you.
Really inspired me with your speech. And
I appreciate that.
I will take it with me.
Yeah, just live every single day with that, and life will be good. I promise. It might not seem like it at times, but in the macro, in the high level, it will.
Thank you.
All right, go be a rock star.
Thank you so much for
Oh,
coming again.
oh, well, oh, well.
Just a
All
random
good,
shout-out.
all good, all good. Well, it's the truth. It's the truth.
Thanks again, man. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Hopefully it went well.
Always.
Hopefully it get them off to a good start and set the tone now.
Exactly.
If they love it and you guys have some boring speakers in, sucks for them. Sucks for them. So sweet. I know you guys got to get on the road. We're gonna head out. Yeah, again, and I mean, anything I can do to help you guys, anything I can do to help at all, you just please just let me know. And I know you've got, once this is over, you've got some different ideas and some different things, but just hit me and say, hey, Shane, let's get together. I mean, I've got a team, I've got a marketing team, we've got video people, we got audio people, we got different things. So if there's any of my resources or what I have that you guys can use or utilize, you just gotta let me know.
I appreciate that. We'll talk afterwards.
I know,
promise.
I know,
Yeah.
all good. You guys have a safe trip over.